off in this place, catching vibes, sit back and we blaze in the sky like I'm out of space. Natural high, light it up, light it up, light it up, light it up.
What's going on, cigar world? What's going on, cigar enthusiasts? This is Jack, the cigar enthusiast, and you know what it is. We back with another banger, man. First and foremost, as you guys see, we changed the scenery a little bit. Oh, hey. Anyway, man, today we got an amazing show in tune for you just today, man. It's about to be epic, man. Our guest that we have is electrifying, and you know, honestly, just two people I actually admire here in Jacksonville, man. They're doing their damn thing, man, and I'm proud of them at every single aspect of it. But first and foremost, before we get into our guest, man, if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn the notification bell, and give us a huge thumbs up. If you're watching on Facebook, don't be the only person to be watching this segment alone. Create a watch party, share it, do all that good stuff. I actually gotta finish that up here in a second, which we're gonna do in conjunction with all the wonderful things that we have to talk about today. But anyway, man, make sure you go ahead and share, hit that like button. If you haven't started following us on Facebook at the Virtual Smoke Deck, make sure you do so. Obviously, we're great. Yeah, I mean, hey. Anyway, today we got a special guest coming from Jacksonville, and they're just doing amazing things here in the city, from consultings and to, you know, launching their own cigar line to just doing a damn thing, man, crushing every opportunity, which is their slogan behind their cigar line, man. They're just doing great things, man. So I can't wait to dive into it. Without further ado, introducing our guests, AT and Traci. What's going on, y'all?
What's happening? What's happening, Jack?
Man, what's going on?
Good to see you, brother. Good to see you.
Hey, look, you know, good having you guys for sure. Like, you know, we've been talking about this for a long time, right? Since we did the show on Smoke and Score to now, man. And, you know, obviously last week we were supposed to do it, but, you know, kind of things happen, you know, nobody's business on what happened, but things happened and we had to push it back. But I'm great that we was actually able to go ahead and get it rescheduled and get you guys on. You know, shout out that comment box real quick. My beautiful wife chiming in. Johnny, let's go.
Beautiful.
Man, Gray Wolf is in the building supporting. Go follow at Facebook, the Ultimate CEO. I think it's just CEO on here, but it's whatever, right? Figure it out. The Ultimate CEO. Rodney, nice to see you jumped on. Jeanette, hello.
Rodney,
that's my brother Rayma. Disaster. Anyway, hey man, but everybody that don't know y'all, man, go ahead and introduce yourselves, how y'all got into the cigar industry, and then you already know where we going.
I'll take beauty before age. So go ahead, Mr. Phil.
Well, how is everybody doing tonight? My name is Antanius Fields. Everybody calls me AT, Mr. Ultimate CEO. Either one will work. We started Ultimate CEO about three and a half years ago. Traci and I have been knowing each other for about 7 years now. Yeah, about 6-7 years.
Yeah, about 7 years.
We've been doing business together for the duration of that time frame. I've been into as a consumer of cigars since I was, oh man, finna age myself here, since I was about 20 years old, 2021.
So about 2 years.
I wish that was the case. Bringing my face it's a different story, brother. But yeah, I've been in and around the culture in that capacity for almost 20 years. Been in the business for about 2.5-3 years, with us trying to get our stuff straight with our company, Ultimate CEO, and our own cigar blends as well. So I'll hand it over to Traci right now.
Traci.
Excellent. Thank you so much, AT. You know, Jack, I've been smoking cigars for a little bit over 14 years, and I met Antanius within our same businesses. Antanius and myself, we have a cleaning business. We both do janitorial services. So I've been in the cleaning business for 22 years. Antanius about 10.
We're 11 years now.
About 11 years, okay. And we met in that realm, being entrepreneurs. We were introduced to one another within a business group here in Jacksonville, Florida. And I have to give shouts out to E3 Business Group.
Okay.
The gentleman that was over E3 by the name of Anthony Butler, Mr. Anthony Butler, he introduced us. And he said, you know what? I think you all have the same type of persona. You have the same type of drive. And you have that same will and motivation to want others to succeed and to be the best that they can be. And so we met in that realm. And then shortly afterwards, we discovered our love for cigars together. I had been talking to AT. We were at actually at a business vendor event.
Mm-hmm.
And we both had a table representing our businesses. But what we did not know is that the divine had put us together for other reasons. We thought it was for one reason, but we started got into a conversation about our dreams and our goals and our aspirations. And I just told him about my love for cigars and love for people, and how I wanted people to be able to come together in such a way to enjoy the leaf, but not so much as the kind of camaraderie and the people that you'll meet when you're enjoying the cigar culture, when you're in that culture. And so we said, what is that? He said, what does that look like to you? And I said, I had a dream. I don't mean to sound super
Martin Luther King, come on, baby.
Listen, I had a dream, bro. And honestly, no lie, it came to me in a dream about CEO. But when it came to me about CEO, it didn't stand for Chief Executive Officer, as most people would think. It was something else. And I said, what does this mean? What does this mean? And then the next day, it came to me crushing every opportunity. And when I told AT that, he said, oh my God, Traci, we have to do this. You have to do this. I've been in business, and I'm born and raised here in Jacksonville, Jack. And I've met so many people, and I know so many people, and people know that I know so many people. And sometimes you kind of get ingrained in that society where people think you don't need assistance, you don't need push, you don't need help, because you already got it going on.
Right.
And they think you don't need motivation. But he came to me and said, you know what, sister? I'm going to help you because I see your heart. I see your heart for people. I see your heart for the cigar industry, and I see your heart to be able to help people and want more for people. He said, and I have that same type of heart. And he said, you know what? We're going to do this. No matter what, I'm not going to let you stop. From day one, that was what? How many years ago? 18?
That was about 3 years ago now.
About 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And it seemed like yesterday. I can remember it vividly, Jack. And he said to me, we're going to do this. And from day one, he has had no agenda, no other impact on me other than want us to see this win for other people. And so from then on, we've just been blowing up. And it's just been an amazing journey. And I just love him for who he is. And we have that same type. It's like he knows what I'm thinking now. And it's so crazy because you sometimes think that only blood relatives or somebody that you've known for years could have that type of impact on you. But he has had that for me. And that's the kind of relationship that we want others to build for one another. So,
and I think it's more rewarding that, when you act on those not ambitions, but those tugs, right? We all get a tug at the heart every now and again. And,
right.
Regardless, y'all could have, put yourselves in bubbles and said, well, he got to clean the business. I got to clean the business. Well, I'm trying to clean as many buildings as she is, and I think ultimately, when you get to those mindsets, you lose out on blessings. I heard something before is
Absolutely.
You are supposed to get blessings through people, right? There is something God would tell you through people. And if you push that away, you would never get it. So if you would have pushed AT away, I mean, I don't think a lot of people have seen behind the scenes of Smoking Sword, but AT runs all that. You know what I mean?
Listen.
And when it comes to and we're not gonna dive too deep into the next conversations, but you know, if you get into the cigar line and stuff like that, AT had an integral part. A lot of people see Traci as the face, but don't understand that the person behind the backbone, you know, not the background, but the backbone is holding it all together. So, you know, AT, at the end of the day, man, I see what y'all are doing, and I understand that y'all have a powerful team, and I'm glad that when y'all went into that environment, y'all seen the opportunity for what it is, and understanding that crushing every opportunity started when y'all met, when y'all had that first conversation.
Absolutely.
Well, the cool thing about that is when she told me about the dream and she talked about CEO, the next day we were texting back and forth, and we were trying to figure out, you know, we don't want to do chief executive officer. That's, you know, it needs to be more than that. And I believe almost within minutes of one another, because we were working at time and we were, you know, just kind of going back and forth, I text her crushing every opportunity, and she texted the same thing to me.
It was crazy.
Before we even knew that was on each other's mind, it was already put into place.
Yeah.
So it just made it so much, easier and more, so it was so organic.
Yeah.
That you knew it was more than just us.
Yeah.
That brought that to the table.
It was bigger than us. And it brings me feels, Jack, to say that, AT, because I haven't really thought of that moment until you said that. I kind of, you know, you sometimes you going along and we're working hard and we forget things. Until you said that, I forgot that moment, and it just brought me chills. I'm so serious. Just to realize that we both had the same mindset and idea, and it came from no influence from any other place except for the fact that we knew that this was organic, and like you said, it was meant to be. It was just perfect. It was perfect timing.
And you know,
more than anything, I'm sorry, Jack. I'm sorry.
No. You go ahead, champ.
I mean, more than anything, like she said before, I just when she told me about this idea, I was like, excuse my language, I don't always say the right thing the right way, but I'm trying to keep it clean. So
that's real.
My thing was, what the F you waiting on?
Yeah.
Like, what's stopping you from this? And she had the detractors and all of that type of stuff. And my question again to her was, what are you waiting on? And what I was trying to get her to understand in that moment was, it's up to you to put that vision and the purpose. But if you need a push, my hand's already on your back to let that go. Mm-hmm. So let's just move forward. And I just wanted to see her shine, because the vision was so aligned with who we already were.
Right.
Then it was just, let's go, let's do it.
And you know what, Jack? When I have to say this right now, if you can give me a moment, I have to say this, you know, because I've been this way, and I can tell you as a woman, as a single woman in the business, being an entrepreneur, being in the cigar industry, you know, a lot of times we think somebody has to be blood, or we have to know them well, or in order to trust someone. And sometimes we have to be very careful about people that we allow in our space. And it's so important to understand that God can bring you a blessing from somewhere that you don't expect. It doesn't look like what you expect it to look like. It's not what it appears to what you feel like people tell you should be like, or who you should be with. And you have to have that discernment. And as you said, Jack, I could have pushed him away, and it was something telling me in my spirit, this is right, this is good, he means me well. And I just want people out there to understand, if you've seen somebody like that and you know people want to support you, open up your mind and open up your heart to that, because you don't want to miss the blessing, because this ride it has been elevated and it's continuing to move forward. And I know the way it's happening, it's nothing but greatness. It's nothing but divine greatness, and it's supposed to be the way it is. So I'm just thankful that I didn't close myself off to the opportunity.
And you know, I think so many times we unintentionally close ourselves off from opportunities, you know, based on just the notion that fear is something that when you speak it into existence, it just runs loose. You know what I mean? It's just like when you tell your kids to jump off the damn roof, or don't jump off the roof, you're gonna hurt yourself. 9 times out of 10, they're gonna go jump off the roof, trying to see if they're gonna hurt themselves. So, you know, ultimately when you speak it out and you don't say anything, you know, and just don't even let it manifest, but move on those opportunities as seem fit. Like you said, you can miss a big blessing just by sitting here, you know, having a notion that somebody's going to screw you over. Not everybody's here to screw you over.
Not everybody.
You know, not every, and this is for everybody that's listening. You know, if you know somebody that is out there good for you, not even in no relationship, business wise, stop holding yourself back. Just go do it. But it's also a caveat to that. So many people are going to see the good in you, and not everybody is going to be able to differentiate help and
the
hang around, or somebody that's trying to leech, helping to leech. You know what I mean? And it's like, you have to understand that at the end of the day, when you see those visions and when you feel like, and when it feels like it's a tug at the heart, then it must be right.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's it. But now, if it's tugging at the heart and be like, I don't know about this.
And you know what, Jack, to your point, you can't choose your family. You don't choose your family. You don't choose the room sometimes that you have to go into. But how you show up in that room and how you leave that room is a choice that you have.
Absolutely.
And that's what Ultimate CEO is all about. That's the mission and the mantra of Ultimate CEO, to allow people that trust and push and motivation to walk into that room and feel worthy to crush any opportunity, no matter what the challenge or obstacle.
So I got a question for AT.
Yes,
AT, what, like, so y'all both had the notion of crushing every opportunity, but like, what was the purpose of trying to get to that notion? Or for that matter, when you found that notion, what was the purpose behind this is the driving force of our brand?
Good question. What for me personally, what that was our history prior to her vision. And like she said, we both independently own our own cleaning companies. Mm-hmm. We met through E3 Business Group. We were able to come together. The founder of that group, Anthony Butler, came to me and said, when we first met, you told me, don't bring somebody to me that ain't bringing something to the table. Mm. And I didn't care whether that was man, woman, child. I just don't bring somebody to me that ain't bringing something to the table. And he said, I push people away from you because you're very direct, you're very blunt, and you're very honest. And to most people in business, that throws them off. Yeah. So when he met Traci and wanted her to become part of the business group, he came to me and he said, I found him. And I knew exactly what he meant when he said that. And I said, okay, well, let's get together, let's chop it up, see what we can figure out, because I'm looking for someone that I can help them grow as I'm trying to grow, no matter where they are in their point in business. And Traci was that person that stepped to the table with something to offer. And what we decided to do from that point was cooperatively market both of our businesses as one company, pretty much. And we annually, and still to this day, have seen great returns, 25-30% annual revenue increases. You know, each year that we've done that as two independent companies, which is unheard of in most industries, especially ours, because we may be a smaller community when it comes to your local contracts and state and federal stuff, but as a whole, we don't do a lot to help one another to the point of you don't necessarily need to make $1 out of it. You just need to see that person be able to get you through that door so that it may open 3 or 4 more that allows you the opportunity the next time. That revolver just doesn't happen in what we do most times. So to be able to meet somebody that had that same type of drive, and I tell people all the time, it took a lot for me to find somebody that had the same type of grind that I had. So when I met Traci and that person, you know, aligned so easily with that grind, when I learned of her vision, we were already crushing every opportunity.
Already.
So like I say, it was the phrase wasn't put in place, because if you think about it, a blessing is just an opportunity waiting for you.
Yeah.
So all we had to do from that point was the door was open. We saw $100 on the ground. We both went to pick it up. Yeah. That was it. So like I said, everything from that point on was just a fluid, organic transition to where we are trying to get to. We haven't got to where we want to go yet. We're still bigger than that. But where we are and what we're trying to get to this point has been easy from the mindset, not necessarily the application, but the mindset has been easy.
Yeah.
So it's been able to carry that over, and no matter who we deal with.
Yeah.
So Ultimate CEO, crushing every opportunity, was already in place prior to the phrase being out there.
Right. So you said something, and I wanna hit on it because I feel like so many times we often bring, when it comes to doing a collaboration or something like that, you said it's always about bringing money to the table, right? But I think sometimes, like what you guys did, and actually most of the times when you can just simply collaborate, you don't have to bring money to the table to make it happen, because eventually the collaboration, if it's worth something, then it's going to make you money anyway. I think what a lot of people don't understand is it's so easy to make money. The problem is not making the money. It's about keeping the money and keeping the mind frame that allows you to continue to make more money. And I think, so many people look at the cigar industry and be like, man, so much money there. Yeah, it is. But come on now. Traci, from your perspective, I want you to kind of explain the brand, not the brand, but the creation process. And then AT, we're going to go into the makeup of making this brand what it is, and still how you're still climbing that ladder. So so Traci, explain the creation of Ultimate CEO cigar line.
Okay, so the Ultimate CEO cigar line, the same way we organically built our relationship in our other businesses, is the same way we wanted to create that relationship with our cigar line. Because what happens is we wanted to create a culture where you understand from seed to leaf, from when that cigar comes from the ground, from that leaf, who is hand rolling that leaf, the lives and the people that impacts. Our cigar, and we'll get into that, I'm sure, in just a moment, comes from Honduras. Okay, so those families and the people that we help those people have to feed their families. The people work hard to make a really good product. And then from then, when it goes to the manufacturer, how those people create a cigar to make sure that it's good for not just smoking, but it's good for the environment. It's a good leaf. It's enjoyable, because enjoying a cigar, we all know, the people out there, it's an experience. It should be an experience. It should be a good experience where people will enjoy it, where you will sit in a cigar lounge or at home with your significant other or friends or family, or by yourself, and just lay back. And when you smoke a cigar, it's gonna take you about an hour, a good hour and a half, 2 hours at best, to enjoy a good flavorful cigar. And that's what we wanted to create. And at the same time, build a relationship not only with the people that create the cigar and manufacture the cigar, but the people that we want to enjoy that cigar. We want them to understand the culture of where this cigar came from seed to leaf, and want them to understand how we want to incorporate the CEO mantra in helping people to not only enjoy the cigar, but the relationships that you can create while you're enjoying the cigar. It's more than just to smoke the cigar for us, for CEO, it's the experience and the relationship building within it. So that's what we're creating with the brand.
AT, let's talk more about the actual creation of the cigar, of the Ultimate CEO cigar. But let's first, as we switch into that, let's talk about the different sizes as well as different blends that you guys have.
Okay.
Well, when we've been working for probably about 2.5 years, 28 months probably, on finding the right processor and right blender of our actual signature blends that we have now. We finally, within the last probably 6 months, was able to connect with a master blender from Honduras, out of Honduras. And what we were able to figure out was we needed to figure out you go through your checklist of what you're looking for when it comes to a great smoke. You want it to be, as far as the sizes that we have right now, we kind of kept it pretty much at a total level, 6x54 for all our blends. We have 3 signature blends right now, where they are a Connecticut shade, Nicaraguan seeded, but Honduras binder filler. Everything's hand rolled, premium hand rolled in Honduras. We have our Habano Maduro, which is probably one of the, honestly, it's one of the best cigars I've ever had. It's pure, it's a puro. So it's all binder, filler, wrapper, it's all Honduras. Then we have our Doble Oscuro, which is, the Maduro is complete Maduro, and the Doble Oscuro is a Habano Maduro wrapper. So with a Oscuro binder. So, but again, all from Honduras, all hand rolled from Honduras. So we went with those 3 as our signature. We did have one Habano Natural and one Criollo 98 tobacco, which I believe you tried with us. Yep. Outstanding Cigar is kind of our exotic, so we're not going to have a full release on that one right now. We wanted to have more staple blends, something that everybody that will go into a humidor that's looking for a little bit of everything that you can get from the different types of blends. But it took us a while to get there, because our ultimate goal was we wanted to cut out the middleman. A lot of your boutique cigars, you know, whether it's from a pro athlete or just your novice that's getting into it, usually have some type of broker that they're working with. And when you work with the broker, nothing against anybody that does. If you're wanting to just get a cigar, put your name on it, say that's mine, so you can smoke it with your boys, that's cool. That's what you wanted, and you got it that way. I don't knock nobody else. But for us, we needed ours to be more unique to what we wanted, and the only way to get that was we had to be able to go to cut the middleman out and go from the field to us. So it only made sense for us to be able to, if we wanted that experience, then you got to go get it. You got to go find that opportunity out there and see what, you know, if it's possible, find a blender that you can trust, that is going to, you know, live up to the expectations that you have, but also that you can build a long-term relationship with. Because for us, this isn't something that we want to do because it's sexy right for the moment. Yeah, we want this to be long-term. So we needed to find someone that had a history and longevity within the industry that would allow us to say, okay, now we can connect with this person. We can tell them what our vision is. We can tell them what we want. We can learn their history, combine that to ours, and then we become a family and organically make this thing grow. Absolutely. So that was exactly how we were able to do within the last 6 months with the blender that we have now, who's outstanding. Yeah. So my whole thing was, I just didn't want a flash in the pan cigar. I wanted something that when that person goes in and they smoke that cigar, they say, oh, I can compare this to this great cigar I've had before, and this great cigar I've had before, because the quality from the way that it's rolled, the flavor and oiliness of the wrapper, where the blend is coming from, that it was premium hand roll versus machine, the entire experience, draw, everything had to match up and meet criteria, or it wasn't worth us doing. Yeah. So when we were able to get that basically staple in place, then we felt, okay, now we can have the fun now. We can be creative on what we want to do, because we know what we want to start with, and we know where we want to go. And now we have a blender that we can say, okay, you know what, maybe in a year from now, I want to do a double ligero. You know, we may want to go that route. Or I may want to do something in the Candela field. Is that yes? We can do those things, but I didn't want somebody that say, oh, well, let me see if I can talk to this person or talk to that person and see if I can get it for this price. I don't need all that shit. I wanted us to be able to have the whole experience in house, and that's where we are now.
So, kind of, give me 1 second, Traci. So getting into like the Honduran Puro part, right? You know, a lot of people don't understand that Honduran actually makes some great cigars, and there's some great cigars, tobacco that comes from those. A lot of people use them in, you know, Honduran cigars for fillers or binders. You rarely see like one on the wrapper, right? But the purpose of this question was, what made you guys go ahead and go Honduran versus Nicaraguan or DR? And it doesn't matter who answers the question.
Well, I can, and it lends into what I was about to say, Jack. You know, I think I will say for myself, and Antanius can tell his feeling on this, but it was really for me 80% of our manufacturer. Our manufacturer from Honduras, he trusted us on a feeling about the experience that we wanted to give people about our cigar blend. It's something that I've lived by, Jack, forever. Dr. Maya Angelou has a quote, and it's my mantra. Sometimes people remember what you said. They oftentimes remember what you did, but they never forget the way you made them feel. And so it's a feeling and it's experience. And he knew how we wanted to incorporate that feeling in the cigar, and he listened to us. It makes a difference when someone listens to you, and they're not all about the money. They're not all about the end result or the end game, but it's about the process. And the process that our manufacturer from Honduras took us through, because we trust me, people think in this cigar, you said it earlier, Jack, cigar game, they think this thing is easy, that you just slap your label on a cigar and we gonna sell cigars, and that's what it is. But you know what? For a good experience, for people to enjoy, it takes a process. We went through some duds, trust me. Did we not, AT? We went through some duds. And some people gave us bull crap, to say it for lack of a better term. Just thinking that we just wanted to be popular.
Yeah.
We didn't want to be popular. We wanted people to enjoy our cigar, enjoy the experience, and incorporate what Ultimate CEO means. And so our manufacturer from Honduras gave us that opportunity, Jack. And that's what, for me, sold not only the flavor of the leaf and how it was grown. Now, there are some great experience with the leaf itself. The soil is good in Honduras. It has a really rich flavor, really impactful on how you want to smoke the cigar and what we've experienced with the cigar. So we did the tastings as well. Don't get me wrong. That took us over the top of what we wanted to do with this Honduran wrapper. But at the same time, it was the, as people say, it was the manufacturer for me. It was him. How he wanted to incorporate the feeling. He got the Ultimate CEO mission, and he really wanted to run with that feeling, and that's what sold us.
And to drill down into that even more, when you look at the scale from the different Central and South American countries that manufacture cigar tobacco, whether it be Nicaragua, Honduras, Dominican Republic, Cameroon. Sorry guys, let me get 1 second. I got kicked out.
You're on.
No, you're on.
You're on.
Okay. All right. For some reason, it's not showing up on my screen, but if you can still hear me, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll get back on just a second on my end. But for Honduras, what I've heard, and I get it, people have said that, you know, your best stuff is coming out of Nicaragua, especially, you know, Esteli, Yalapa area, that type of thing, Dominican Republic, and Honduras may run a little bit on the latter side of that, third or fourth in that mix. But for us, what we figured out was it wasn't necessarily that Honduras was on the latter side of it. It was because Nicaragua, no disrespect to them at all, because they're one of the founding countries of it, is the hot chick on the block right now. So everybody wanted to come out of that area based on that. But if you grow out of Nicaragua, you grow out of Dominican, you grow out of Honduras, as long as your actual manufacturer that you're dealing with allows for you to be able to get what you are looking for, it can be a Nicaraguan filler, a Honduras wrapper, and a Dominican binder. You just got to figure out the recipe and the blend of how all those things come together to get the stick that you're looking for. So for us, just because he just happened to be out of Honduras, it allowed for us to have, you know, a little bit better play in the game. But like Traci said, he sold the fact that I know I can make tobacco for cigars just as well as they do in these other countries, because I'm the one doing it. I'm not having someone do it for me. I'm not going through some third party to get it for me. So it made it so much easier for us to be able to deal with that process, because we knew that it was going to be easier because no middleman was making that difficult to get exactly what we were looking for.
Absolutely. And I think for anything, right? You know, a lot of people is gonna sit here and say, you'll notice that a lot of people are saying things about your binder, your filler, or how your cigar, where your cigar, country of origin. Country of origin has about that much to do with the actual cigar, but in reality, it's all about the notes that you get from it. It's all about the fermentation. It's all about the curing process in which it takes to get that cigar there. And I don't think a lot of people truly understand, you know, in a way, of what it takes to manufacture cigars, let alone understand the different taste notes that you get from cigars and the stages in which you get them. Yeah, obviously, you know, people be like, well, you know, I love cigars, man. Oh my God, they're so amazing and X, Y, and Z. But in reality, they have no clue on what it actually takes to make that cigar, the tasting of the actual Ligero leaves, the Seco leaves, your Velados, your Vizios, all your leaves, and how they come together for that recipe. I can season a steak. I can season a steak a million different ways. I can season a steak different from yours. That doesn't mean that because I didn't season it your way, doesn't mean my steak is not going to come out good. It's just I didn't do it the way you seasoned your steak. And I think that has a lot to do with cigars. And, you know, I think, you know, for especially, you know, boutique brands, you guys have it the worst. I'm just gonna be honest, because your reputation, you don't have a 20-year, 30-year, 40-year reputation in a cigar field, which means that, oh, then their cigar must not be good. But I tell you what, I know cigar notes and I know how to taste them. And when I tasted that cigar, it was a great cigar. You know, it's definitely a cigar that I would smoke. And I haven't said that about every cigar. I even talked about to a lady that's looking to open up a lounge in Tampa, and she was like, yeah, you know, I want a spot for boutique cigars. And I tell her this, and say it to everybody and for anybody to listen. When you put a cigar on a shelf, they must pay a rent. Not you per se, you pay a rent. That cigar must sell. If that cigar tastes like shit, then your friends that you got to smoke the cigar, they're going to go in that corner. They're going to talk about how shitty that cigar was. And then those 4 people are going to go tell another 4 people, which makes, and it's an ongoing process of shitty cigars. So when you put in the time and effort and truly understand the process and understand of what it is that you're trying to get from the process, then you can kind of dictate where your brand goes. You know what I mean?
You know what, Jack?
No,
that's so true. And thank y'all. I apologize for stepping away for a moment. Hey, this is real life, y'all. I had a meeting here at one of the cigar lounges with my Smoking Score podcast co-host. So I'm on the move. That's what we do. Yeah. But I got to tell you, to your point, Jack, that's why we're doing the research, the education of what we're doing in the cigar industry, because of the fact we're not just investing for popularity. Listen, Jack. Let me tell your audience something. Okay, I don't care, because at this point in my life, I'm a woman of a certain age, and I don't have shit to lose. Can I say that on your show?
Yes, you can.
Okay, thank you.
Speak your mind.
I already said it, but at this point in my life, I'm working on selling my cleaning business. I'm working to get into other projects. My business partner here, he knows my goal set. He knows my mindset of what I'm trying to shoot to. This is not a game for us. We're investing our time, our money, our heart Or let's say money again, sir.
Money.
Our money, our heart, and our love into this. We're taking classes, we're getting certifications. This is not a game for us. We want people to enjoy this experience, and if they give us feedback, if it's something they don't like, we're listening. We're out there listening because we want to do the research to make sure that this is long standing. There's a lot out there, like you said, with about in the boutique cigar field and industry, and it's rough. It's hard. The taxation on boutique cigars right now, everything that's happening, it's a hard life. But we're in for the long haul. So what we're working to do, we don't want it to be rudimentary. It's what it is.
And you know,
it's got to be a broad approach, because I look at it from the standpoint of, and I know Traci will agree with me on this. When we go in as consumers to purchase a cigar, and I don't care who the hell you are, when it comes to smoking cigars, whether you have your own line or not, we all started somewhere.
Yes.
And we're all going to continue to be consumers of cigars, no matter whether you have your own line or not.
Yeah.
So when we go in and we look for a cigar that is a staple in our personal humidors, that cigar has to make more than a statement, other than it being, oh, someone said this was a great cigar, so I guess I need to have this in my humidor.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's got. I don't give a damn whether it's a $2 cigar or a $50 cigar. If it don't speak to me the way I need to, I'm throwing that bitch away.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
And people can say, "Oh, you just threw that money away." Absolutely, because now I know that wasn't where I need to spend my money.
Yeah.
We want for us, and Traci and I talk about this all the time. We want Ultimate CEO cigar blends to be the staple in people's humidors.
Yeah.
The only way you get to that point is you got to be purveyors of your brand, and you've got to put the work in and make your blenders work to get you what you want. Because at the end of the day, like we just said, money is going to be out there, and we're going to have to be the ones to spend it to get what we want.
Yeah.
So if we don't get what we want, and we've done this already, we've had blenders in the past that we got a cigar and that shit blew up like it was like it was damn C4.
Yeah.
You think I'm gonna pay you for that? Or continue to pay you for that?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we're not doing business with them anymore.
Yeah.
But if I can go to someone that I know every time I pick up a cigar of theirs, i.e. a Perdomo cigar or a Padron or a Fuente, whoever it may be, when I pick that cigar up, the construction is where it needs to be, the advertisement and marketing is where it needs to be, the smoke is where it needs to be, and it's consistent from the first third to the nub. I'm going to go back and spend more money with them, because I understand the process and the steps it took for them to get that where they needed it to be. And they didn't just make that because it was what they liked to smoke. They made that because someone gave them feedback, good or bad, stating, I like this part of it, but you need to improve this. Yeah. And they took that to heart. They took that feedback in. They went back to their factories and they said, this is what our consumer and target base is saying we need to improve upon. What can we do? And they made those things happen. That's why they've been in business 20, 30, 50, 90 years. Mm-hmm. Not because they just put their brand on a cigar.
You know what's crazy
and Jack, we care and respect the culture and the history. We care and respect totally the culture and history. We have Nick Perdomo is one of our mentors. We follow Fuente. We've gotten to learn from Nick Perdomo. He's helped us so much, and shouts out to him and his factory, his blend, his family, his manufacturers. They do an amazing job. And that's one thing that I want people to get from this also, from what we're saying tonight. We respect the history of how cigars started, how they are incorporated, everybody that puts their blood, sweat, tears, and money into what they're doing in this culture. And we know we have to follow that same path in order to make sure that our cigars are long-standing in this industry.
I tell people this story all the time, right? people love Padron. You know, they did a survey not too long ago, and of the top cigars that you want in your humidor, right? Fuente and Padron was tied at 44%, and then it was Perdomo, and then it was a couple more other people, right? More of the story is a lot of people don't understand that when Padron started, when it all started, he made a cigar because he wanted a box press cigar. And because a guy was saying that he wanted a box press cigar, he went and made this box press cigar with a Cuban C in Nicaragua. Brought it back to a shop in Miami, sold one. The one cigar that he sold was to the guy that wanted the box press cigar. The box press cigar did not, the whole box didn't sell anymore, but that one. He went back, purchased the box, and asked, why is this not selling? He asked the guy that bought the cigar, and he gave him honest feedback. Jose took that to heart and ran with the entire brand. He kept in the staple of Padron now. They talk about that story all the time of how this one cigar only sold, and he could have gave up, but he did not. But the purpose is the bulk of me saying that wasn't to be like, well, you know, Padron this and Padron that. They get enough publicity enough. But the thing about it is they started off as a boutique cigar, didn't sell shit. And then he had to get some feedback from somebody that said the blend was shit. And then they went back and produced what they got now. The point of it is, like you said earlier, so many people are so gung-ho on having their own line. I don't understand it. I mean, I'm just being honest. Like, I know what it takes to get there, and I also know the money it takes to get there, and all of the different things that go into play. And I have no clue why people be like, I want my own cigar line. Right. And then you go and you grab a fucking cigar, and excuse my language, everybody. You go grab this cigar, it's frustration. You go grab this cigar from Bum, Egypt, or a shisha.
Jack, say it for the people in the back. Say it for the people in the back.
Hey, go into Nicaragua and a shisha and buy these cigars, throw their label on and say, I got my own cigar line, and wonder why when you send them shits to Jack the Cigar Enthusiast and I tell you this tastes like shit, you get upset instead of listening to the fact that you need to change your process. I'm telling y'all, I'm a straightforward person. I think y'all have understood this for some time now.
And I respect it.
I am a straight shooter.
I respect it.
I did not enjoy y'all cigar, I would have told y'all downtown at Island Girl that this cigar is a piece of shit. Yeah. And I would have looked y'all in your eyes and said, y'all need to change X, Y, and Z because it's just not firing right. But I didn't get that.
What was the first thing I asked you, Jack?
How was it?
In that cigar, I said, I want you to give me your honest feedback.
Yes.
And I did too. Yeah.
That was why. Because how can you ever improve if everybody's boosting your head?
Yeah.
I wanted someone to say, oh, this was not right. And we had a friend that came out and said, hey, your Maduro cigar, one of the first ones that we did, one of the first blends we did, he came out, he said, I love Maduro cigars. This one is pretty good, but it's just missing a little something. I can't figure it out yet. Yeah. And I said, well, think about it. Come back to me. Let me know. Once he did, he said, I think what I'm looking for this blend is for it to have a little bit of a better spice on the back end of it. Yeah. And I think that I'm so used to having Maduro cigars that give me that I'm not seeing it here. Yeah. So I said, okay, cool. So when we talked to our blender that we're dealing with now, I said, I want the cocoa notes. I want the oily wrapper, but I do like a little spice. I don't want it to be San Andreas, over the top, spicy. I want a hint of it so that people can say, okay, damn, that last third was better than what I thought it was going to be. And when he smoked this one, he was like, I see exactly where you improved on it, man. He said, I don't know how you did it, but you got exactly what I was talking about. And now this is one of the best cigar Maduros I've ever had.
And Jack, let me say, and Jack is going to get me right now because he told us not to do this. He gave us this little dissertation before this live. So it's better to ask forgiveness than permission. So forgive me, Jack. But anyway, somebody named Lorraine Miles just made a comment, and I just want to speak to that. Sis, let me tell you something. That's what we do. Look us up, send us an inbox. We're here for you, sis. We want to see people win. We want you to be a winner. We want you to have success. If you're looking for a mentor, hit us up. That's what CEO is all about. That's what we're here for. And we do that as well. And we'll talk about that a little later. But I just wanted to respond to that.
Let me interject on that comment, right? Now, Lorraine, you got to understand this. This process is not going to be easy.
Nope.
It's going to take tomorrow. You're not going to get a brand next week. It takes time. And anybody that tells you that they can get you a brand next week, you run far away from them.
Beware.
Possibly can, because that is not where you need to be. You need to fall in love with the process. You need to fall in love with tasting Ligero leaves, Seco leaf, Vizio leaves, Balado leaves, and understand the different forms. And I'm going to hit on something, kind of getting away from that, onto that Maduro wrapper. You know, so many people smoke a Maduro with the expectations of a spice.
Exactly.
But it's crazy when you can get a blend to the point where you're able to get the spice, but on the back end versus the front end. Mm-hmm. If you're getting it on the front end, then it's kind of overbearing and it takes away the notes of a lot of the other notes that's inside the cigar. And there's some blends out there. I'm not going to put no names out there, but there is some. I've smoked one yesterday, and I said, and this is from a major company, and I said, they just threw some shit together. But that's the thing is, like, not even on no hating stuff, the cigar has got great ratings. So I'm not even mad at it, but I think it's more of the name of it. But I think when you're in a boutique line, you can't just work off a reputation.
Correct.
Right? You have to work off of passion and understanding and developing that process as much as you possibly can. And I think, understanding that feedback, AT and Traci, understanding that feedback that came from that Maduro line is put y'all into, again, another revolving door. You're going to get somewhere where you start with a blend and you're going to have to go again. You're going to have to go again. And a lot of people don't have the patience to go again and again and again and again. When we decided that we were going to do our house blend, and mind you, we still don't have a house blend. So anybody that comes here on Friday, don't expect to see a house blend because the shit was trash.
Yeah. You were not doing that. You weren't doing it.
I wasn't doing it. It's just what it was. I wanted to be able to honestly smoke the cigar and not just smoke it because it's mine, but smoke it because, I enjoyed the cigar. If I can't do that, then I can't sell that. And I think that's the biggest thing, But
what's so funny is people have come to us and they say, how are you all being so successful all of a sudden? Honey, this didn't come up all of a sudden. This wasn't all of a sudden.
Yeah.
We've been tasting and working and spending money, making failures for the past 3 years, honey. This wasn't all of a sudden. What you see is what you see now is the work and blood and sweat and tears that we put in to 3 or better years of making sure that our cigar was what it needed to be. This didn't just because you see it here. That's not what you see. You don't see the background of what has been happening and how we wanted to make sure that me coming from a female perspective in the cigar world, in the cigar industry, and smoking cigars for almost 15 years, I came into this cigar smoking world being a little bit intimidated and going to a lounge and wanted to try cigars because my grandfather smoked cigars and I just love the smell and the flavor and I wanted to learn about them. And I felt a little intimidated. And so I wanted to create a cigar where women even could enjoy it across the board. And no offense to women that love sweet cigars or whatever, because I tried that when I started as well. The Java mints and the sweeter cigars and the what are they called? Groovy blues and those different things. That's great. But there are a lot of women who say, Traci, I want to do something a little different. I want to advance my palate. Where here's what I can help you do and not feel intimidated by walking in the cigar lounge and they look at a woman like, oh, you must be buying a cigar for your significant other, your man or whatever. You don't want to try a cigar. No, I do. I want to try a cigar and I want to get into the cigar world. So I wanted to make a comfortable environment for women to be able to be supported in that and not to feel neglected or ignorant of the cigar world. So that's another thing that we've created within our Ultimate CEO line. And I love that part of it. It's the education too. How are you educating other people in this cigar world and culture, and to learn different blends and what we're doing? The education is so important. And that's another thing. People are just creating cigars. And do you know where the leaf comes from? How is it grown? How is it wrapped? Is it draw tested? You know, what are the different blends? People aren't learning about that education to be able to even give people advice on what they're smoking and what they want to enjoy. What does this pair good with? Do you like wine? Do you like scotch? Do you like whiskey? What are the different pairings that can go good with this cigar? So it's a journey, and it's a journey that we're willing to take to make sure we have the full experience and not just a cigar.
You know, I think that is everything. The experience of the cigar and understanding what it pairs to and what it could be is everything. And I mean, honestly, and AT, I know you had something, so I'm gonna let you jump on. I'm gonna shut up here in about 2 seconds.
You good?
But seriously, like, you know, when you go into a cigar and you're new to cigars, you may found this insert because you just joined a cigar group and you're new to cigars, you're trying to learn. Let me tell you what is something that I am teaching my tobacco is ASAP is don't be so quick to refer somebody to a flavored cigar because it tastes good, right? Because
hand clap.
Because flavored cigars, yes, they taste good, but it will falsify your palate to a point where you would never try, or it's going to take you a long time to not even try, but to appreciate the blend of a Connecticut or a Habano or Mexican San Andreas or Connecticut broadleaf. Like it takes time, and if I start you on a flavored cigar, I'm doing you a disservice. I'm doing you a disservice. AT, I know you had some, champ.
Yeah, I was just going to kind of piggyback basically off of what both of you all just said. 2 points. One, Nick Padermo, and I'm a process person. I love the process of how things work. And he said to make one cigar, no matter what the blend is 3,549 steps, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
If it took him 3,549 steps to make that one cigar, this is to people that are in the boutique cigar industry now. Those that are looking, the young lady that just chimed in and say she wants to look at possibly doing her own line. Let me give you some advice. If it took him 3,549 steps to get to that one cigar, then it need to take you more.
It better take you 4,000.
Right.
Or 6 months.
Yeah. Or 2 years.
Or 2 years to find that blend that is good universally what the palate is. Point 2, what you said about the flavored cigars. My wife, when she first started smoking a little over a year ago, I wanted to break her into the industry because it was my love. It wasn't hers.
Yeah.
But she wanted to, experiment, try and see what it would be like. She found some flavored cigars that she likes. Now, since she's been smoking them and her palate has grown, because I take her and drag her along to all these different things that we have to go do.
Not drag, AT, not drag.
Well, maybe sometimes, not all the time, but maybe sometimes. She's become a big fan of many very different cigars. Her palate has grown now. So she, every so often now, will have a Java Mint. But now she'll smoke a Perdomo 10th anniversary champagne. She'll smoke a Brick House Connecticut. She'll do a San Andreas, a sun-grown cigar, Habano leaf. She'll do those things now because now she understands more that as she's grown in that process from what she first started to where she is now, that you have to be able to allow your palate to get away from some of the flavors sometimes, just so you can see that there's other options that are out there. Because being a black dude, I'm gonna be honest, When I first started smoking cigars, I wanted the darkest freaking leaf I could find. we all live by that, the black and the berry, the sweet of the juice type thing, right? So I went for the darkest Maduro I could find, and my palate wasn't ready for it, and I was killing myself. But then I talked to somebody that was a veteran within smoking cigars, and the gentleman said, "Hey, I see you struggling over there with that cigar that you bought. I see you struggling, brother. What I would suggest is," and he did it for me. I do this for people now. He took me into the humidor, and he said, "Hey, try this Habano leaf cigar." He said, "I'm not gonna back you all the way down the scale. I'm gonna back it down just a little bit. So try this Habano leaf." It was still kind of a darker leaf, but not as dark. He explained to me wrapper, binder, filler, where these things come from, how they affect your cigar and the overall construction of your cigar and where your flavor notes come from. Excuse me. And when he did, and I smoked this cigar, I was like, damn, this what the fuck I've been missing? Like, wow. And then I backed down a little bit more. And it's so crazy. Again, talking about how divine intervention works. One of me and Traci's favorite cigars, didn't know this until we started smoking together, was 10th anniversary, Champagne, Perdomo, Connecticut. So again, that palate, you have to try them all. Yes. In all honesty. Yes. In order to be able to figure out what you like, how you like those things to be made, the sizes of them make a big difference to some people. There's a woman in one of our cigar groups. God bless her. This woman smoked the biggest freaking cigars I've seen in my life.
Yes. We gonna call you out, sis. We love you.
Yeah. She know who she is. That's my girl. I love her.
You know who she is.
Oh yeah. Oh, you probably know who she is, Jack. She gonna have a lunatic 80 ring gauge.
8 by 80.
Yes.
8 by 80.
Yes.
And she gonna make us look like rookies in this thing. But she can tell you everything about it.
And that's what she loves.
She can tell you the best way on how to smoke it if you never had something that size and as far as ring gauge. And I respect that because there's always something that you can learn from everybody within this culture that you might not have ever thought about that will make you just say, "Oh, let me try that and see what she said was right." And then you do, and you like, "Damn, this really is a good cigar."
And you know what? To follow up on what you're saying, 18, it's about putting the work in and talking about learning in this culture. I know we talk a lot about Nick Perdomo. He's one of our exclusive mentors, Jack, so you got to forgive us. But he put that work in. Let me tell you something. This man is a multi-millionaire in the cigar industry, and he still goes to this day, and he goes to his own events. He don't have his salespeople or whatever going. He shows up. No matter if it's a little place in Live Oak or a huge place in Las Vegas, this man puts in the work. So
why can't we?
Hey, we look at that and we say, if he's putting in the work at his level, who are we?
You better be putting in the damn work.
We need to put in the work to do what we need to do the research, get our certifications, travel, do what we need to do, get on that road, and make sure that people respect us. And it's all about respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone made a comment earlier and said, I paraphrase it, but the overnight success takes 20 years or somewhere in that range. And
Rodney.
yeah, Rodney. There you go.
That's our bro. Rodney, what's up? That's our bro.
But that speaks volumes because you look at the people that are in this industry that have been around for so long. They understand the process. They understand that there was history before them that enabled them to be where they are. I say it all the time. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're just trying to add our scope. And if we do that the right way and follow the right steps by listening to people that are smarter than us, when it comes to this, any good business person would do that and connect and collaborate with them. We don't do business with Nick Perdomo, but for whatever reason, he saw enough of us to say, "Hey, they're trying. Let's give it a shot and put a little knowledge out there on their hand, see how it goes." And if it's on them at that point to do what we do, crush every opportunity. Once you do that, and that knowledge has been put out there. I tell people this all the time. Knowledge isn't power. That's bullshit. Knowledge ain't power. Applied knowledge is power. So when you apply that knowledge that somebody has put on your head, and you try to figure out a way to make a successful plan out of that, then you will see how that gives you that power long term. So you gotta. So to the young lady that was saying she wants to do this, take your time, honey. It need to be slow because it need to be right.
But we here for you.
And when you need to reach out, people reach out to us all the time. The same way we reach out to people to this day. So if you have that opportunity, you can do it. Jack put all our stuff out there. Email us, DM us, whatever you need to do. We'll do what we can to help you as long as we understand that you're willing to put the work in. Because you're spending your money to do this. We ain't spend ours.
Yeah. You see why I keep him around, Jack? See how smart he is?
Yes,
he's smart, man.
Hey,
I know what I'm doing.
Y'all getting advice from Nick Perdomo tells a lot about you guys, and it should tell a story. It's so many people that you can learn from in this industry, and there's so many people that are one willing to give the information, and then there's some that's not willing to give the information.
That's
and
true.
When you have that information, you take it and you run with it. You know what I mean? A lot of people, say things about, us opening the lounge here. I knew what I wanted to do, and I knew what it is that I wanted to portray, and that's what we're gonna do. And it's the same with your brand. You know what I mean? There is something that you guys felt that you were missing in the cigar industry. So instead of saying I want this, you got your ass up and you did it. Yeah. And in reality, it takes a lot to just do that step. One simple step. I mean, Curtis just said it. You got to get off your ass and get on your feet.
Yes.
That is
right.
spot on.
That's right.
You got to be willing to put in the work. You got to be able to put in the financial commitment. You got to understand that if it does not sell tomorrow, it does not mean it's the end. It's just you need to change it. You need to do something that's going to put you in a different position than where you were. Mm-hmm.
And Jack, it's about support too. And I'm going to say this, and hey, it is what it is. Look, I don't have nothing else to lose. Like I said, let me tell you something. A lot of people said, Traci, how could you have Jack and Island Girl doing the broadcast and he opening up a cigar lounge over as a competition? You don't know how many people asked me that, Jack. AT, did they not?
Oh, every day. Every day.
It's about the relationship that we built in this cigar lounge, and the manager here knows I would not do anything to offend her or not support her, but she knew if I was doing it, it was from my heart, and it was something that I knew that would be good, that would be a collaboration of it. Because listen, it's enough at the table for us all to eat. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to make sure this is a young man. You see, I called you young, Jack. that's working to do something. I feel his heart. I feel his authenticity. I met him. I've talked to him and his wife. I think the world of them. They want to, whatever we can do to support, that's the circle of life. People wonder why they can't have anything or why life is so hard or why they get brick walls. You have to support the next person and bring them along. It was free to put you on our show. It didn't cost us nothing, didn't cost you nothing, didn't cost me nothing. But you know what the cost was? The support of the collaboration of people to see us work together. Mm-hmm. You're here, you're working hard to do what you do. Listen, I know about the cigar lounge industry. I know the background. I know, listen, nobody can tell me what you're going through. You can't tell me. I know. You don't even have to speak it. I know. And when people's like, oh, he hasn't opened here, he hasn't opened there, listen, you have no idea. You have no idea the undertaking of what it takes to do what you're doing. And I applaud you, brother. Whatever CEO can do, we're always going to support you because you put in the work, and I see you grinding, and I see the work that you're putting in, and we got much respect for that.
And there was something that you put on, when you thought to ask me to come onto the show, and I never thought, man, oh man, I'm about to be going to Island Girl. They're gonna be my competition, and oh my. Hey, look, let's put it straight to anybody in Jacksonville or anybody in Florida, anybody in the United States, anybody in the world. I don't compete with nobody. Okay, I compete with my damn self, because at the end of the day, if you try to compete with somebody else, then you're always going to fail at meeting your own expectations.
That's right.
I meet my own expectations. I compete with myself, and I do it myself. Now, I understand them. I acknowledge them. And just like I talked to Sydney, I used to sit in Island Girl and record my shows. If you go back on my YouTube page and actually scroll all the way down to introduction, you hear me shout out Island Girl Cigar Bar down at the beach. And then I shouted it out again. Hey, look. Hey, let's be clear. I understand what they're doing, but I just understand what it is that I'm trying to do.
Yes.
And understanding that you and not, this is not talking about Dapper D's anymore. This is talking about Ultimate CEO. Anytime somebody is trying to put y'all in competition with somebody else, you understand that in your own mind, you only compete with your own damn self. You compete with the blends that you have put together. You compete with the product in which you done put out. And that is the only way that you're going to put out some better product. If you're still trying to chase what somebody else is doing, you will always come up short. I had a great mentor tell me this. He said, Jack, whatever they're already doing, let them have it. And you do everything that they're not doing differently.
Yes.
And
that's good.
I mean,
that's good.
I took that and I ran with it, and to this day I hold it true and dear to my heart. It's everything about, what you can do for yourself, because nobody is going to do it for you. And I appreciate you bringing me on the show, and as always, I appreciate y'all coming onto the show and talking about Ultimate CEO and understanding that this is a process. But everything that y'all are doing in this race, y'all are running the marathon, and y'all are on your way to completing that marathon. You gotta stay persistent. You gotta stay motivated, and you gotta stay determined. Those are the three things I always follow, and those are the three things I'm gonna continue to follow. Persistent, determination, and motivation is the three things that is all you need in this game.
And we're here for the long haul. We ain't here to win it. We're here for the long haul. We don't plan on going anywhere. We want everyone's support. But, if people don't see fit to support us, we're okay with that too. But at the same time, we would love the support from everyone, and whatever we can do to extend our hands to make sure that other people are supported, and what we can do and our knowledge and our research and our experiences and our resources, we have no problem with sharing that. Because you know what? My great-grandmother, God rest her soul, she always told me something, and I live by it. What's for you is for you. What God got for you is for you.
Come on,
nobody can tear that down. Nobody can bring you joy. Nobody can make you sad. It's all up to you.
Absolutely. So, well, one thing that we do in the virtual smoke deck as we wrap up, we often go down a road of gems, right? I think we've dropped a lot of them in here. So you pick which one you want to take home with you. But to kind of get to the part, I want each one of you to drop one gem. It doesn't have to be about cigars. It could be about life. It could be about, experience. It could be about anything. Drop a gem that people can use to help them better themselves in their life.
Go ahead, Traci. I would let ladies go first. Go ahead, Traci.
Okay, very good. I would say, Jack, be yourself. Be authentic. Be who you are. The gifts that God and the gifts and time and talents that God has given you, be yourself. I have spent so much time putting on a mask as a woman, not only as a woman, but as a Black woman in corporate America, subsequently being an entrepreneur in my own business, now being in the cigar world. A lot of times you feel like you want to try to live up to someone else's expectation of who they want you to be. But what I'm coming to find out in this life, the more I'm myself, the more I bring myself forward, what I have is good enough. Who I am and what I have, my knowledge and my respect of people, my worthiness to do the research and put my time in is good enough. Anyone who knows my heart and knows me, they know what type of business I do. They know what type of time I'm on as a person. And I come forward as myself. I have no more mask. What you see is what you get. I am Traci Irven. I am ultimate CEO. I put my pants leg on, my dress on, one pants leg at a time, just like everyone else. I have challenges, I have disappointments, I have heartbreaks, I cry, I toil, I deal with customers, I deal with clients, I deal with staff, I deal with family. I can go down the line. Frustration like everyone else, but at the same time, I have to motivate myself, pat my own self on the back, and tell my own self to move forward each and every day. So you know what? I am who I am, and I just want people to be your authentic self. What you have is good enough, and you know what? If you share it of yourself and who you are honestly, people can relate to that. People can get more into that than try to pretend to be it's hard to try to pretend to be something that you're not.
Come on.
It's too much damn work. So, bruh, that's a lot of work. I have no more work of that to give of myself. Okay. It's easier for me to just be myself and just be who I am. So be yourself.
Yeah. AT.
Well, you see how that she done made it so hard for me to follow that. I don't know what to say right now, but I'm gonna let God use me as a vessel and move forward. I agree with Traci on that 100%. Authentically be who you are. When we first started this Ultimate CEO Vision, like I said, we said in the beginning, this was Traci's vision that she had, and I wanted to be someone to help her see her vision come to light. As a man, we have egos, and we're built with that in our DNA. But I always tell people, Traci is the face of Ultimate CEO, and that's on purpose.
Yeah, come on.
It's on purpose because it was her vision. I fell in love with the vision. I love her as a person and as my friend and as my sister. And if we don't want to see each other shine, nobody else will. So if I'm in the background and you don't see my face, stuff like that, that's on purpose. Because who's supposed to be out front, who's supposed to be the vision for this, who's supposed to be the face of our company is exactly who I want and she wants to be out there. Don't let your ego get in the way of success. And success isn't always of a financial and monetary, gain. Success is the people that you surround yourself with that are winning. I wanted to see Traci Irven win. At the end of the day, that was all this was about. And if that meant she was going to be out front, and I handed the back end, every great quarterback got to have a good left tackle. Somebody to watch your blind side. That was my job. And I embraced that job, and I love that job because of the person that I'm doing business with. It makes it easy to be there when you know if the roles were reversed, that person would be that same person for you. So if I can give any advice to anybody out there that's listening to this show, this will be it. Always know when you win, it's because somebody else helped you get there. That's what being an ultimate CEO is. You understand that the opportunity was put in front of you by someone that probably wasn't you. But you aided in the process of success and it reaped all the benefits, whether it be for your own shine in the game, your financial gain, all those things can be byproducts of the overall umbrella of success, which was pushing someone out there that needed the help in order to become what they saw their vision to be. That's the best advice I can give you. Help somebody see their vision and put it into action. Again, knowledge ain't power. Applied knowledge is.
Yes, sir.
So we could have said, me and Traci could have had that conversation 3 years ago and said, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that. And she made, if God wouldn't put it in my spirit to say, what the fuck you waiting on? As wrong as that may sound.
That's just how he said it.
Yeah. As wrong as that may sound, me saying that was her nod to say, okay, I can. Or no, not even that. Okay, I should, and I will. Because we knew that she could do it. It was, would she do it? And if all that took was for me to say that and then to help her on the back end, then we've already won.
Yeah.
The hardest part has been done. The step has been taken. Now we just got to just grow off of that. That's my soapbox.
Man, y'all are a great combination to each other. I think you guys complement each other very well, especially in business. And I think the relationship that you guys have is a success of a team. You know, Amazon wasn't built by Jeff Bezos. It was built with a team. You know, yes. Microsoft wasn't built with Bill Gates. It was built with a team. At the end of the day, ultimate CEO is not going to be built by one person. It's going to be built with a team. And I think you guys have the right team. I've been reading this book. It's called Culture Code. The Culture Code is about it's about a lot of stuff. But one of the biggest things that they put in there, they said that at the end of the day, they will hire a group of people, and they will offer $2,000 after they went through all their training for them to quit and leave. And what it is getting rid of bad apples. Bad apples will hinder the growth of a company yes. or a team by 30 to 40%. If you don't look it up, it's scientifically proven.
Absolutely.
If you do not have the right apple or the right team, then you cannot succeed. And I want to tell y'all have the right team.
And Jack, that's so true. And you have to have someone that has your back that will help be on the lookout for that. Because you know what? I'm a people person. It's in my DNA. I love to see people happy. I love to see people win. That doesn't just come by business. That's just in my DNA. That's how I was raised. God loved my great-grandmother. She gave me that. She owned a juke joint back in the day. I don't know if people know about juke joints. Now, I'm from the South. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. I'm a country girl. She ran a juke joint for many people. And I was a little girl, and I saw her doing all these types of things. It's in my DNA. And I love on people. But to have AT having my back where he can sometimes have that discernment to say, Traci, now, wait a minute, this person, I don't know. And I trust his judgment. I trust him because he's proven to have my back and he cares about me. And he wants to make sure authentically that no one harms me or hurts me. That's priceless. That's priceless. So I can tell you, have somebody that cares about you in that aspect.
And when you think about it too, like I said, the key word you said in that, Jack, was team. I mean, we all know the acronym for team. Together, everyone achieves more. So if we do it together, and that's just not Traci, now that's ultimate CEO helping Jack, helping whoever. We're going to support the Apodies. We want to see you be successful.
Yes, we do.
It's not an option for us not to see you do
it's well. Not an option.
So when I heard you were coming into town and you opened up, I was like
so excited.
The want and desire that I had wished I could have been at when Troy McNair had Downtown Cigar Lounge. To be at that point now and to see where you're getting started here, to be able to throw that excitement, that desire to see someone that's doing it, get out there and actually, be on that level to try to do what they don't see done in this city very often at all. I put that burden on Ultimate CEO to do what we can from our standpoint, from whether it be from our own social media platforms, So Smoke and Score, to reach out and put those people out there to say, hey, you all need to go see this brother. He's doing big things, and we need to put our money where our mouth is and support him not only spiritually but financially, because it takes a hell of a lot to start a brand, to start a brick and mortar, especially start a brick and mortar in this time. We're here to support you, man.
Yeah,
know that more than anything else. And when we throw support behind, we bring a hell of a follow.
And listen, everybody out there, Don't listen to the hype. Learn people for yourself, okay? Learn people for yourself. You go and find out what's going on. Don't let, I don't even talk about the haters because they have no, we're not going to give that energy. Learn people for yourself. Figure out what's going on and what it is, because you know what? You'll miss your blessing. Don't be a follower, be a leader. Be a leader.
And I tell y'all what, man. I know y'all probably hear things that I don't hear, and I tell you this. For anybody that may watch or listen, I appreciate y'all support, and I appreciate y'all bringing your support. And I tell you what, if you don't want to support, then that's fine. You know that you're not gonna. I'm not gonna miss anything with you not supporting.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because the support wasn't there in the first place. You know what I mean? So I appreciate y'all. From the start of it, we have established a rapport that can't be taken away. We can't establish a rapport that somebody could have said you guys shouldn't have met, and whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, 110% I believe in what comes around goes around, and it's not karma. It's just like the pastor said in church today, not to get too spiritual up on the virtual smoke day.
Come on with it.
That's not the pulpit.
We here for it.
But you plant seeds. We don't believe in karma, man. We plant seeds, and
Yes.
we watch those seeds harvest. And the seeds and harvesting it goes hand in hand.
Yes.
So my goal is to be as authentic as I possibly can, and trust me, just like AT is to Traci, my wife Renisha is to me. If I am a people person, I'm the one that's going to be the face, but I trust and believe if that pit bull says anything otherwise, then you got to go. You got to go. We can't.
That's right.
And you got to trust that. You got to trust that.
And
God gave you that person.
And I think more than anything, when we understand our support system and how they truly have our back, we can't go wrong with that. I used to get mad at my wife and be like, man, why would you say that? They a good person. And then some stuff come around and she'd be like, look, I tried to tell you. And I say, look, you did. And so now I don't even fight with it.
Listen,
honey, I look at her and be like, honey, what you think? and she don't say otherwise.
Jack,
we gotta go.
AT and I just had that situation. I ain't gonna get into it. We just had that situation happen last week. Just had that. He told me, but it's all good.
Hey, look.
And like you said, I told her, but I also said too, I want you to, in order for you to see things for yourself, you got to see it for yourself. And I'm one of the kind of people I don't trust. I better trust the man in the mirror some days I wake up. So how am I trust other people? You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to that kind of stuff, and I get that little vein on the side of my head that pop out that my wife talk about, is because she knows that spider sense done kicked in, and he something ain't vibing right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you, but I also want you to be able to
see it,
plant your feet, see it, and then say, okay, I don't ever want to do I told you so. I want you to see it yourself.
Yeah.
That way, when you see it yourself, you can be like, okay, now I get what he was saying. I got my own spin on it now. Now we can move forward.
Absolutely. And that's the best way to do it. You got to be able to see it for yourself. You got to understand it for yourself. Nobody's going to understand it for you.
Right.
I can't make you see something that you don't see. Like my wife, I love my baby. Ooh, I love my baby.
She's adorable. I love her too.
She did not see the Dapper D's vision. She was like, what the hell are you coming up with? And then she see it out. She was like, it looks good. It looks amazing. And again, that goes into, several other things, but at the end of the day, she stuck beside me, regardless if she didn't see it or not, or I didn't see it or not. She stuck beside me, and she said, I'm gonna let you see it for yourself. And every time I see it for myself. So I listen to her. So y'all keep that going, man. Y'all got that. Obviously soft opening is Friday. If y'all can make it, we'd love to have you. But more than anything, thanks so much for taking the time out to do this segment, man. I think it was a wonderful segment. I think y'all have a great head on y'all shoulders. Like I said, y'all have a great brand that y'all are repping. It is reputable. Continue to push it, continue to build it, continue to make it exactly what it is that you want, and success is gonna follow. So again, appreciate y'all so much. Stick tight. I would love to have a conversation with y'all afterwards.
Okay.
But until next time, we gone. One thing about the virtual smoke that I always say is support is everything. It does not matter what you can do or what you can bring. It's all about how you can bring something together to make it worthwhile, right? How can you put somebody in a limelight that needs the attention, you know? And I think Ultimate CEO is a great brand. It's a great cigar line to get behind. If you haven't tried them, make sure you go ahead and check them out. I'm gonna run their tickler one more time. Follow them on Facebook at Ultimate CEO and IG at the Ultimate CEO _life. If you're interested, go ahead and DM them on both ends. Get your order in. I'm telling you, it's gonna be worth your while. I want to hear your feedback. So once you smoke them, tag Dapper D's or tag Darian. Actually, tag Dapper D's so we can, you know, follow up behind that and get them the love they want, man. So great segment. A lot more other stuff to kind of put out, right? So coming up this week is the biggest thing, and the culture and, you know, everything that we have put in place. So great things coming up. Next week we have on the show, let me get my calendar up. We have Jay Gates. Jay is out of Atlanta. He just launched his own magazine, man. The brother is just doing it, man. I can't wait to dive into a conversation with him. That's going to be another epic segment, just like this one was tonight, man. So we're looking forward to having you. Again, March 5th, this Friday at 12, we have our ribbon cutting ceremony. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. As always, I appreciate you guys. If you're watching on the Virtual Smoke That, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that follow button, and make sure you share that as much as you possibly can. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button, that follow button, and turn on that notification bell and give us a huge thumbs up, man. We appreciate y'all so much, man. And I'll have one more comment. So no, I take it nobody heard anything I said about about the grand opening. So let me kind of reiterate that again. I'm going to pop that back up. So one thing that we're going to be doing, we're going to have Business in the Spotlight, which is going to be a bi-weekly event. We're also going to have a Turn and Burn, which is a motivational or empowering type setting. And we're also going to do some live music on some nights. And it just, you know, come check us out. Over 300 faces of cigars and more coming. So we appreciate y'all so much for tuning into this broadcast. Until next time, peace.